Let us pray for the rural poor. Let us pray for people who live in rural areas, noting that 80% of the world's poorest people live in rural areas. Let us pray for all who live in rural areas and love the land. May they continue to prosper while using sustainable farming practices. Let us pray for people in rural areas who depend on agriculture for their livelihoods and food security. May they continue to grow healthy crops and livestock to feed the hungry of the world. Let us pray for favorable weather and growing conditions so that there may be abundant harvests. Let us pray for family farmers who comprise 96% of the almost 2.2 million farms in the United States. Let us pray for rural people experiencing homelessness because of lack of job opportunities and affordable housing. Let us pray for the landless agricultural workers, migrant workers, seasonal farm workers, and subsistence producers. Let us pray for the nearly 5 million rural residents who live in counties that have high and persistent poverty rates. Let us pray for the more than 1 in 4 rural children who lives in poverty, particularly for rural children of color. Let us pray for the nearly 1/5 of the world's population who live on less than $1 a day. Let us pray for the rural poor who account for nearly 63% of poverty worldwide. Let us pray for rural women who are poor and more likely to live in chronic poverty. Let us pray for those who are experiencing hard times and in danger of losing their livelihood and farms.